Hey, this is Mike, and today I want to talk about dividend stocks because I think a lot of new investors and younger investors hear about dividend stocks, but then they're not really interested in it because with dividend stocks, you don't get rich very quickly, like if you're going to YOLO some calls on Tesla or something. But your best friend if you start investing early and you just take some of your money and put it in one good dividend stock and then you leave it alone literally for several decades. And I want to demonstrate the power of just having one stock in your portfolio that's a dividend stock that you just put some money in there and then you leave it alone for several decades, and it will literally pay off big time when you're older, when you reach like your 50s and your 60s and you don't feel like working, or you don't feel like scrounging and scrapping around for money. So let me show you an example here of what one dividend stock that you can use, and then I'm going to show you three dividend stocks that you can get today that could put you on a path to a very comfortable life decades down the road. So before I get started, if you want to go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, that'll help you find more videos like this. So this website, marketbeat.com, has a dividend calculator, and it's really awesome because it allows you to really play around with these numbers and see how much dividends really pay off. So I want to start with an amount that I think if you're in your 20s, 30s, or even 40s, that you can kind of scratch up and get and put into one dividend stock. So I'm going to start with $10,000. Now, take $10,000, you can put it in one dividend paying stock. And let's say this dividend stock pays a yield that's pretty high, 4%. This is not impossible. There are a lot of stable stocks I'll show you that pay around a 4% yield, and an annual increase in that dividend of 4%. This is very common too. I'll show you one stock that has almost a 5% annual increase for the past 58 years in its stock. And let's say the share price of this stock goes up 6% a year. Now, this is lower than the average S&P 500 gain of 9 to 10% a year, because usually high-paying dividend stocks don't perform as well as the S&P 500. However, over the long term, holding a dividend stock is still a great play. So, and we're going to hold this stock for 30 years. So, and the reason why I say 30 years is that this is a stock that you buy, and in like the old Warren Buffett philosophy is just buy it and then forget about it. So I said this works especially well if you're in your 20s, then in your 50s, it really starts paying off. If you're in your 30s, it pays off in your 60s. If you're in your 40s, it pays off in your 70s. So let's show you first how much money $10,000 can grow up into and not even consider dividends. You take $10,000 at year one. After year one, you have $10,940, and then you go all the way up to year 30, you have $327,000. And this is just one $10,000 stock. You hold it for 3 years at 6% annual return. You have $327,000. And that's really awesome. But here's how it gets even more awesome. After the first year, that $10,000 dividend pays a 4%, that $10,000 dividend stock that pays a 4% dividend pays you $400, right? Year two, it pays you $455. Year three, $518. That's cool. Now look at year 10. It's paying you $1,300. Year 20 is paying you $6,000 every year. That's 60% of what you paid for that stock. You're getting that every year now. Now let's take a look at year 30. You're getting $35,000 a year. You paid $10,000 for this one stock that you never touch, and by year 30, you're getting paid $35,000. So basically, let's say you're 25 years old and you put $10,000 away in this stock. By the time you're 55, you're going to get $35,000 a year. You're going to get a check that's almost $3,000 a month. And you never have to sell the stock because this stock can still appreciate and make more money for you. But now you pull that money out, it's like getting an early pension or just an early check. Like if you're in your mid 50s and you decide that you don't want to work full time anymore, you can work part time. Heck, you can even take this check and move to a place like retire to a place like Panama or Costa Rica if you just don't want to work anymore. You can live on $3,000 a month pretty comfortable in some of these countries. And let me show you at the bottom here, and this is known as a yield on cost. So after year one, you get a 4% yield, but after year one, you get a yield on cost of 4.55 because it pays you a little more than $400. By year 10, your yield on cost is 15%. By year 20, your yield on cost is 71%. Year 30, your yield on cost is 425%. This is the power of just owning one dividend stock. If you have a portfolio of, let's say, $100,000, you just put $10,000 away in one dividend stock. And you see here, year one, you put in $10,000, you get $400 dividend. Your yield is 4%. Yield on cost is 4.55. And then, you just look at the chart. It just, the exponential growth of money that you get from one dividend stock is really just amazing. So now that I've shown you the power of dividends, let me just recommend three stocks that you should look at. The first stock is one of Warren Buffett's favorite stocks, and this has been one of the best dividend stocks out there, and I think it'll continue to be a great dividend stock, is Coca-Cola, stock symbol KO. It pays a dividend of 3.34%. And this is the stock that I talked about, that it has raised its dividend every year for 58 straight years. And on average, the dividend is raised almost 5%. Now, while this stock did have a time when it was flat, essentially from the late 90s to the late 2000s, it continues to pay an excellent dividend. So it's still a great stock to hold over the long term if you just want one stock to basically retire early on. Another great dividend paying stock is Johnson & Johnson, pays a dividend of almost 3%. You look all the way back to 1980, it was at $1.70 a share. Now it's up to 104, almost $140 a share, and its P ratio is just at 21. And then finally, I'm going to show you one stock here that pays a big dividend and has outperformed the stock market, and that's Realty Income Corporation, stock symbol O. This stock pays an almost 5% dividend yield. It raises its dividend every year for the past 50-something years, almost 5%. This stock, since it has gone public in 1994, has an average annualized return of 12%, beating the average annualized return of the S&P 500 of about 10%. They're in commercial real estate. They do what's known as triple net leasing, where they will buy, let's say, but one of their biggest clients are our pharmacy CVS. They own like 400 CVS locations, and then CVS rents out their building. And their biggest clients, you could go on their website, include CVS. They have a bunch of LA Fitness. They have a bunch of stores, freestanding, like smaller size supermarkets. So definitely look at Realty Income. In fact, this would be my number one recommended dividend paying stock, like to put money in it for 30 years and leave it alone. And then it will just pay you. And also, Realty Income pays its dividend monthly. And this is one company, their entire business model is based on being investor friendly for dividend payout. So I would definitely take a look at Realty Income first. Then I would take a look at Coca-Cola second, and then Johnson & Johnson third. So I hope this helped you. If you want to learn about the power of dividends, I hope it was valuable for you. If it was, please leave a like. Go ahead, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I do daily multiple updates on everything from stocks to options to the stock market. Okay, thanks. Bye.